biggest house. The U.S. biggest house.
I think Baltimore was one of the biggest houses in the U.S.
No way.
It's huge.
That's awesome.
Or at least like on the East Coast.
I feel like I would want to live in a tiny house and just like backpack across the United States.
It's not
Hello, my name is Marshall,
You know, one like this.
and today I'm going to be discussing social welfare. And some different reforms that have happened in it. So the U.S. before determined that they needed to change the welfare system. So this started in around 1935, after the New Deal. A lot of people didn't have any money. And America decided that they needed to help improve the middle class. It's economics. After the Depression, since there was very little money. They started structuring the program of welfare first with Social Security. So this is for retired individuals, for people with disabilities, and children. The focus, however, was on children, not on the families. So the mom would be paid for the kids. However, if there was a father or male living with the mother, that they would not be allowed to have welfare. It was focused on single mothers with children. Social workers would go and see if women had men living with them. They would go into the house and see if there were men there. They would also look at the different things that they owned, such as their TVs and different machines and appliances they had. If they saw anything that would indicate that they should not be on welfare. Good Lord.
Save your voice, honey.
So now they changed it to where men and women could both live together and they could still receive welfare. They also determined that there could be different levels for welfare, and so the changes started to happen.
How weird is like food combination?
Women were now allowed to live with men, and both of them, but they both were not able to work to receive money from this program for their children.
Those were so good.
Also, people unemployed would receive welfare, so all were supported. However, welfare started to increase probably because America's was had just recovered from a depression. More people and more families needed welfare. and became because they'd become homeless. So the program continued to increase and increase and increase. The legislative branch was worried because this was such an expensive program to have. It was a lot of money for the U.S. They wondered how before, and now it needed to be increased. So their budget stayed the same, however, they demand increased. People started complaining because they saw people not working and still receiving money. People became frustrated with the system. And that's why there were changes that needed to happen. So they now had states decide the welfare amount and their plan. And they decide what to do with their money. States decide if they have a lower amount, they would give more money. So states worked and worked to decrease the amount of spending for the welfare system. So now women can't get welfare after 5 years of receiving it. That's their maximum time they can be on it. They also train women to go out and work. Before, women were not trained to work. They didn't understand many of the different behaviors from work. So the states started programs to train women. Some were successful and some were not so much. Another problem was daycare. They'd send their children to it. But they had very little money for daycare. Well, for good daycare. For good daycare is around $100 every week. And the women didn't have that type of money. So there were two main problems. Women weren't trained, and daycare was just very, very expensive. Assigned to daycare very terribly.
Really?
Very, very terribly.
I'm starting to get really tired to the point where it's like not sticking in my head.
Do you want to pick a time and try and study until then and then go home?
Yeah, what time are you?
I don't care. I mean, I'm going to finish this paper tomorrow morning. I'm going to get up early and do it, and I'm just going to interpret tonight.
Thinking around 12:15.
Okay. That's fine with me. I'm just going to be interpreting until then anyway, so. I have less than 4 minutes left of my 28 hours of interpreting. 28.
And you never thought of just going a whole day?
You couldn't do it.
You just get tired.
Can you study, like, literally for a whole day? Or can you, I mean, you know what it is with another language.
Yeah.
There's no way you could interpret from English to Spanish or Spanish to English for a whole day.
The most I would do is even an hour. Even an hour is fucking hard.
Mm-hmm. Yep.